Alright, guys, I'm back with another chapter in Genesis. We're in Genesis chapter 43. I just got done with a very long day today. My first parent-teacher conferences as principal, and it was fun. Met a lot of people, a lot of new people that I'm going to have an opportunity to love and serve, and so I'm always excited about that. But very tired. Had my dinner heating up, but I wanted to make sure that I still got in our Bible verse for the day. And like I mentioned, it is chapter 43 of Genesis, where it reads, "The brothers returned to Egypt," and we'll get right into it. But the famine continued to ravage the land of Canaan. When the grain they had brought from Egypt was almost gone, Jacob said to his sons, "Go back and buy us a little more food." But Judah said, "The man was serious when he warned us. You won't see my face again unless your brother is with you. If you send Benjamin with us, we will go down and buy more food. But if you don't let Benjamin go, we won't go either. Remember, the man said, 'You won't see my face again unless your brother is with you.'" "Why were you so cruel to me?" Jacob moaned. "Why did you tell him you had another brother?" "The man kept asking us questions about our family," they replied. "He asked, 'Is your father still alive? Do you have another brother?' So we answered his questions. How could we know he would say, 'Bring your brother down here'?" Judah said to his father, "Send the boy with me, and we will be on our way. Otherwise, we will all die of starvation. And not only we, but you and our little ones. I personally guarantee his safety. You may hold me responsible if I don't bring him back to you. Then let me bear the blame forever. If we hadn't wasted all this time, we could have gone and returned twice by now." So their father, Jacob, finally said to them, "If it can't be avoided, then at least do this. Pack your bags with the best products of this land. Take them down to the man as gifts: balm, honey, gum, aromatic resin, pistachio nuts, and almonds. Also take double the money that was put back in your sacks, as it was probably someone's mistake. Then take your brother and go back to the man. May God Almighty give you mercy as you go before the man, so that he will release Simeon and let Benjamin return. But if I must lose my children, so be it." So the men packed Jacob's gifts and double the money and headed off with Benjamin. They finally arrived in Egypt and presented themselves to Joseph. When Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the manager of his household, "These men will eat with me this noon. Take them inside the palace, then go slaughter an animal and prepare a big feast." So the man did as Joseph told him, and took them into Joseph's palace. The brothers were terrified when they saw that they were being taken into Joseph's house. "It's because of the money someone put in our sacks last time we were here," they said. "He plans to pretend that we stole it. Then he will seize us, make us slaves, and take our donkeys." A feast at Joseph's palace. The brothers approached the managers of Joseph's household and spoke to him at the entrance to the palace. "Sir," they said, "we came to Egypt once before to buy food. But as we were returning home, we stopped for the night and opened our sacks. Then we discovered that each man's money, the exact amount paid, was in the top of his sack. Here it is. We have brought it back with us. We also have additional money to buy more food. We have no idea who put our money in our sacks." "Relax, don't be afraid," the household manager told them. "Your God, the God of your father, must have put this treasure into your sacks. I know I received your payment." Then he released Simeon and brought him out to them. The manager then led the men into Joseph's palace. He gave them water to wash their feet and provided food for their donkeys. They were told they would be eating there, so they prepared their gifts for Joseph's arrival at noon. When Joseph came home, they gave him the gifts they had brought him, then bowed low to the ground before him. After greeting them, he asked, "How is your father, the old man you spoke about? Is he still alive?" "Yes," they replied. "Our father, your servant, is alive and well," and they bowed low again. Then Joseph looked at his brother Benjamin, the son of his own mother. "Is this your youngest brother, the one you told me about?" Joseph asked. "May God be gracious to you, my son." Then Joseph hurried from the room because he was overcome with emotion for his brother. He went to his private room where he broke down and wept. After washing his face, he came back out, keeping himself under control. Then he ordered, "Bring out the food." The waiter served Joseph at his own table, and his brothers were served at a separate table. The Egyptians who ate with Joseph sat at their own table, because Egyptians despise Hebrews and refused to eat with them. Joseph told each of his brothers where to sit, and to their amazement, he seated them according to age, from oldest to youngest. And Joseph filled their plates with food from his own table, giving Benjamin 5 times as much as he gave the others. So they feasted and drank freely with him. That's the end of chapter 43. And so, I don't know how I feel about this part of the passage. I am curious as to why, when they took that food back from Egypt, knowing that Simeon is still in prison, obviously not maybe aware of the maybe poor living conditions or what it would have looked like in prison, but the fact that they went back, shared with their family, and continued to eat to their fill until they were almost out of food, and then like, okay, now we'll go back. How long did they let Simeon stay in prison? That's pretty crazy. And I feel like that's just a crazy amount of time that, I assume he had a wife and at least a child, if not more. The fact that they would just let him sit in prison for as long as they did, and they even let him know that we could have made that trip 2 times over, and he's still in there, and there wasn't a thought to go back to get him. So that's interesting to me. I guess I understand Jacob's hesitancy to want to send the youngest boy, just because I can't imagine the loss of a child, let alone anticipation of loss of another or fear of that. But I don't know. I still think that the struggle, the nuance of family connection and ties, and having such a level of favoritism for one child over another, and it being like verbally expressed to the other children, still blows my mind. But I don't know, I still love the fact that Joseph's dreams are coming to fruition, and it's exactly what he saw. And I don't know, there's no way that Joseph could have imagined that that'd be the road that he took, or the result of the road that he took. That's what a great author God is, and I'm a big fan of that, and I like that a lot. But on that note, have a good night. God bless. I'll be reading Genesis chapter 44 tomorrow, where it reads Joseph's silver cup. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.